Hey, folks. It's December 31st, 2019, and you know what that means. It means I'm hastily trying to get rid of this footage that's been burning on my hard drive for 6 years. And I finally worked up the courage and alcohol to do it. So, let's make it happen. Purrloin only run. So, for the record, this is on challenge mode of White 2, which means the levels are higher. I think some gym leaders have additional Pokemon or something. I don't freaking know. But I'm doing this at 10:05 p.m. currently on December 31st, 2019. I have next to me an alcoholic beverage. I'm going to call it a good old college cocktail. And I say that not only because the vodka in it I have had literally since college, but because it's a great mixture of $10 vodka and not Gatorade, but basically Gatorade, Body Armor Super Drink, Fruit Punch flavor, for the discerning palate. And I'm going to be drinking that over the course of this footage, because this footage, hello to our Purrloin, by the way, this footage is 6 years old. I have gone through hell and back trying to make the video files not corrupt, and this is the best I've got, so deal with it. Hello, Ace. You're gonna be great. Ace is not gonna be really getting his fair due, I don't think, in this video. But I don't remember a gosh darn thing about Black 2. I remember the names of a couple gym leaders. I remember he has a catchphrase that he's about to unleash his rage or something like that. I don't know. I think I might know what Ace's moveset might have been. Granted, this is a DS game, so I won't see his moveset a whole lot, but I think it has something to do with Hone Claws. And there might have been a special move there somewhere. I don't know. But so to get through this footage, I'm going to be drinking. I don't know how well that's going to go, but I got an hour of footage here, so let's bottoms up. Let's see how this. I haven't taken a sip of this yet. Let's see. Yeah, it's not very good. I can distinctly taste. Yes, there's the artificial fruit punch flavor of the not Gatorade, and there's the vodka. There's the kick. Neither of them refrigerated, by the way. This is all lukewarm, room temperature. I've also got some pretzel sticks. Pretzel sticks probably going to be the highlight of this gastrointestinal process. Crunchy. Anyway, Hugh sucks. Here's Charon. So Black 2 and White 2 mix up the gym order a little bit from Black and White 1, and actually throw Charon, one of the main rivals from the original Black and White, at you as your preliminary gym leader. And he's a normal type gym leader, which I'm not sure why they did that. Because here's the thing. The first gym in Black and White was tailor-made, and this was very intentional. Tailor-made. There's some water dripping on this fucking shaker thing. Tailor-made to teach you about type advantages, because it was the main gym leader would vary depending on which starter you chose, so that you would have to think about type effectiveness and essentially use a pan monkey, if I remember right. Here it's a normal type, which has literally only one type that it's weak to. Now it's fighting. And it just does not do the same job to be like, hey, learn how to use fighting, compared to, hey, I'm tailor making this experience to force you to learn about this type effectiveness thing. And Gen 1 did a better job. Gen 1 had Rock as its first gym. Gen 3 did this also, but Gen 1 did it first. And that was there to teach you, hey, you can't pound everything. You can't scratch everything. You gotta use elemental moves. And if you chose Charmander, I'm sorry. This, so much is neutral against. you're not gonna have a ghost move, so that's not really gonna come to play. It's just, it's not as instructive as a first time gym leader. And maybe because it's Black and White 2, maybe it's because it's a numerical sequel for the first time, and as far as I remember, the only time in the franchise, they didn't feel the need to tutorialize that as much. But I don't know. It's weird. Black and White had normal as the second gym. Her name was Lenora or something, I don't know. Black and White are my favorite games in the series. I haven't played them in a very long time. Again, barely remember anything about them. This fight's going on a long time. What am I doing? Just scrolling out. Oh gosh, I'm halfway through this fight. There's a Lillipup. You know, if you're a longtime fan of the channel, you know my relationship with Lillipups. They're pretty cool. I'm a fan. Surprising that they did not make the Gallardex, given that they are Yorkshire Terriers. I wonder how loud those crunches are. Let me check the waveform. Yeah. I can see him. I'm not blowing anything out. Throat's a little sore. I noticed that when I was doing my Duolingo for the day. I'm learning Norwegian because my brother lives in Norway with his family. And I was like, I wonder if that's because I haven't used it at all today, or if that's a holdover from the flu that I'm recovering from. And I don't know which, but there's a distinct roughness in my voice that I think would be quite sultry if I wanted it to be. Or it could just sound like a vocal fry kind of thing. I haven't been paying attention to this fight at all. What's my strategy? I think it's just slash at things. I don't know if I had a more distinct strategy at this point. At Pursuit, got a stab move in the form of Pursuit. Last Pursuit's main gimmick, which is that it deals extra damage to Pokemon who swap out, doesn't come out much in the main game, because opponents very rarely swap out. It does look like this Lillipup deals quite a bit of damage, and so basically I need to potion spam until he misses on tackle, or the RNG goes in a direction that actually benefits me. But it looks like I got it. Yep, there we go. Also, you might know some audio weirdness, aside from just the faint crackle of a bad audio connection line. There's some stereo setting that didn't play well with the way that I was connecting my DS to the computer. So I set it to mono later on, but I had not at this point. Anyway, Black and White and Black and White 2 did that cool thing with the music, where when the opponent's on their last Pokemon, it turns into this really triumphant version of the main Pokemon theme, and it's dope as hell. They didn't do that for Gen 6, Gen 7. Gen 8, which is the one we're on now, right? Sword and Shield of Gen 8? Yes. They bring it back in a form. It's more subtle in Gen 8, but it is there. And if you listen to, like, rips of the soundtrack on YouTube, you'll hear that, like, the crowd starts cheering and singing along. And it just gets a little bit more pumped up. It's a transformation of the regular gym battle theme when they get to the last Pokemon, whereas here it's just a total like shift in the soundtrack, which I think they both have their merits. I think Black and White 2, Black and White and Black and White 2 pull it off. In part because it is the main Pokemon theme. If it weren't the main Pokemon theme, I'm not sure it would work as well. But it does work, for me, at least. And it's a lot better. If I complain about Gen 8 in this video that I recorded back when, I think before even Gen 6 came out, freaking Gen 8 likes to sample music, or reference music, quote music from the series and its various themes. And the champion theme does that really, really well, I think. I don't know how it feels to just listen to it on YouTube out of context, having not played the game, but in context, the champion battle theme is basically a rearrangement and quoting of the Hall of Fame theme, and it's so good. It works really, really well. But the main, just like basic trainer battle theme quotes the main Pokemon theme that we're doing right now. And it's like, what are you even doing? You're quoting it for like a bar in the basic trainer battle theme? Why would you save it? Come on, save it for when it's really gonna hit hard. You did it right in Gen 5. You did it right in Black and White 1, where it's used as the triumphant comeback music in each battle, and then is used outside of battle at a critical plot moment, and it kicks ass. Don't use it in the ordinary trainer battle theme. You're better than that. Anyway, this gym leader is new to the Black and White 2. She was not in the first one, and I like her aesthetic. They kind of did it again with Piers later in Gen 8, but it was different enough. It worked. Anyway, here's Bug. It's a pun that works better depending on your accent, and I don't know if New Yorker accents really make it work, but given the universe based on New York, that's what we've got to work with. It's Bug. No, it's coffee. Coffee's Bug. Yeah, no, I don't feel it. I don't think so. Anyway, here's a Dwebble. I'm proud of myself for remembering what this thing's called. It's a rock. It's a rock bug. It's a hermit crab. And so there's some defensive issues to be struggled with here. At this point, I remember this, I think, maybe. Yeah, you can see, there it is with the honed claws. Ace's main strategy at this point is honed claws. Gets physical attack stat as high as possible, and then just blow through any and all defenses. And that'll work for a while. But there will come a point where I decide I need a special move. And that point, I think, is in about 2 gyms time. Because that's the point where I posted on Reddit. I should pull that up, but I don't want to make thumping noises on my keyboard. I say, as I talk with a pretzel in my mouth. I'm not even drunk yet, I'm just being callous. I do hope that I actually get somewhat inebriated through this process. I put roughly 2 shots of vodka in this beverage. I have flashbacks to thesis parade, senior year. I pre-gamed. I had like 2 shots of vodka in a cocktail of some sort before going off to the parade, wherever you're supposed to be drunk and celebrating. Hooray, it's over. I didn't feel anything. Very disappointing. Hope you like that lemonade. So those Dwebbles decrease my special attack. It's not doing much. There we go. Now I think with Dwebble out of the way, everything else should go down pretty easily. Yeah. Again, don't remember a gosh darn thing this guy has. Shelmet maybe has good defenses? Who knows? Hey, by the way, that reminds me, just seeing the Shelmet close its shell there for a second. Gen 5 had such good animation in its battles. Like, I'm not a professional animator, obviously. I frankly probably have very low standards. But there's just so much more personality in these animations compared to the 3D animations onwards. Excuse me. Like, that one. Levani there just did a little bit, it hooked its elbow around like it was doing a little bit of a bow almost. And like, you see Ace there raising his claw up. And it's like, little touches like that you don't see a whole lot of in the 3D models. Which is too bad. And I'm not gonna claim that every single Pokemon has nice little touches like that. I mean, Magnemite here is just like kind of, it's waving its arms like it's flying or something, but even then, it's got some variations in its speed, or maybe that's just the preview window messing up. No, I don't think it is. I think it's like a little slowly and then faster. It's just a little touch. Anyway, here's Colress. So Colress, he's the most anime thing up until this point in the series. I want to like Getsus looks pretty anime in his design. Colress is to go even further beyond. Because when you look at his hair, you can pull up an image. There's nothing exciting happening on screen. When you look at his hair, there's just a blue thing that defies gravity. You're spinning around him, and it's like planets, maybe. I don't know. The planets was last generation. But it's one of those where you're just like, what is even happening in the world right now? I do not understand the image that I am supposed to interpret here. It's like, it reminds me of Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! In that, like, when you look at Yugi's hair, like, obviously, okay, it's weird. It's like blonde. He's got like blonde dye. He got bleached bangs, but also just really spiky hair that's supposed to look like a hand, and it's purple, kind of. And when you look at his hair, the outside of those, it's got like a purple outline. And that outline is purple no matter what angle you look at it from. And it's taking some sort of artistic license, obviously, to imply that the whole thing is slightly purple, and that's just where the light hits it. But it also just, it's non-Euclidean in its shape, and it's... So Colress's hair isn't quite as stupid as Yugi's hair, I'll give it that. But that's what it reminds me of. And some people will probably defend Colress' design and be like, actually, Colress looks really cool, and I cosplay him every day, and you shouldn't insult him, and you're entitled to your opinion. However, I disagree. Anyway, here's Elsa. Elsa, I don't remember her name. Why do I remember her name? Questioned it for the ages. Elsa's dyed her hair. Also that, again, very stylized braids that bend the laws of physics there. She dyed her hair since last set of games. Black and white. She had blonde hair. Now she has black hair. I don't know. It's just something I noticed. What do you want from me? Anyway, you're seeing a pattern with my strategy here. Hone claws, hone claws, hone claws. Oh, so there's a cool thing, by the way. Ace has limber, which means that he can't be paralyzed, which is really nice. It's just one less thing I have to worry about. I guess I didn't heal there. I guess I was afraid of the cross scissor and want more cross-scissor problems. How wild is it? It's not wild at all, because YouTube taught me this. I think it's still weird that X-scissor is actually cross-scissor, much like cross-chop and cross-poison. But I saw an X, so I called it X. And I don't think I can be faulted for that. Anyway, a lot of volt switch stuff going on. I feel like volt switch, like, it might matter with Emolga. Because with Emolga, maybe you want to use a rock or an ice move for super effective. And I guess it'll work for Flaffy as well, because you might try to use a ground move, and then it'll switch back out to Emolga, and Emolga will be immune to ground. So you know what? Volt Switch being utilized in a tactically sound manner. I will give it to Elsa. I was going to complain and say it wasn't really doing much, but it is, so. Granted, it doesn't matter for my strategy, but. 21 minutes in, I'm always half through my Drake. Oh, that's interesting. My my monitor goes to sleep, even when Sony Vegas is playing a video preview through its timeline. So that's cool. That's fun. That's a good thing to know. Night Slash, hail and well met. My excellent, cool attack. I don't remember. I want to say Assurance is like 50 base power. Night Slash is 70. High critical hit ratio. Any boost in base power, very nice. Given that I have very little flexibility when it comes to super effective moves. I feel like explaining the general tactics behind a solo run is unnecessary at this point. Like, when I started this gig, it was a bit of a novelty. Like, the market was not saturated. But everyone knows what to expect now. You use a bunch of potions until the enemy runs out of the dangerous moves. And you just hit him with whatever you have. And if you're doing a run where you don't use any in-battle healing, you grind a whole lot beforehand. And that's it. That's how you do a solo run. That's all there is to it. Anyway, Hertier's a butt. It's got Intimidate, which lowers Ace's attack. Got Fake Out, saves me a turn, gives me a little bit of damage. But that Intimidate just means all the more reason for me to hone Claws, right? I have to basically spend an extra turn honing Claws in order to deal the amount of damage that I was going to deal anyway. And sometimes I don't actually need to buff. Sometimes I just need to, you know, attack with my normal amount. Also, I have regular slash in addition to night slash. Bet you haven't seen that before. Oh wait, you have. If only, I wonder if I had like opportunity for focus energy or something. Probably wouldn't have been worth it, but if I had focus energy plus 2 high critical hit ratio moves, maybe it would have been a cool synergy. I busted out my water bottle so that when I instinctively drink something after saying a thing, it's not always going to be the horrid cocktail. Here, it's not that bad. But anyway, here's Clay. So Clay, this I believe is the boss fight that prompted me to post on Reddit about this, asking for a little bit of advice. I think it was like 6 years ago or something. I don't freaking know. So Clay, I can already tell based on the video timeline that it's a fairly long battle. he's got a number of strong Pokemon. Most notable is Excadrill, which is a really cool, really dope ground steel type. One of my favorites from Gen 5, and Gen 5 has a lot of favorites. But it's got the defensive typing to resist my attacks. It's got really high physical attack and deals a lot of damage. And so it's a dangerous proposition. Sandstorm obviously doesn't help matters, just whittles down a little bit of my health every turn, which makes it just that little bit less likely that I'll survive a powerful attack. Also, he just healed somehow. I wasn't paying attention. I think it happened when I was squinting, doing a little less likely, and then they healed in that time. I could be wrong too. I also just wasn't paying close attention. It's nice that he resists crunch. Cannot be crunchitized. And there's an Onyx. You know, I just remembered / realized that Clay is a ground-type gym leader, not a steel-type gym leader, which makes sense, because Krokorok is not actually a steel-type, neither is Onyx. But nonetheless, Onyx, high physical defense, I believe, so that's cool and fun, and makes my life harder. Not even halfway through this battle, so there are a couple ways that I could approach making this video. One, of course, would be to just delete this 6-year-old corrupted footage that has been hogging my hard drive space for over half a decade. I could have gone full Leaf Green versus Blue, done in-depth research to try to make each battle as informative and interesting as possible, and also possibly edited down these longer battles to just demonstrate the main points. Or could do what I'm doing now, which is drink. And that's what I'm doing. Actually, I watched a video. I don't know who the YouTuber was, because I had no intention of ever watching any of their videos ever again. But there is some, YouTuber out there, there's probably a bunch, who will do a challenge run of this sort, or some sort, like, every week, and just produce a single 15-20 minute, highly edited video, all post commentary, just pointing out the greatest, most important highlights. Not really trying to explain anything about the game, but about the actual experience of this particular challenge as it pertains to this game. Making the assumption that the viewer is familiar with the game and doesn't need, like, Brock's team explained to them. Which, like, it makes sense. That's a logical approach to making a video. It was genuinely an interesting experience for me. That was interesting right there. It was an interesting experience for me to see an informative video. It was highly edited, polished, and informative, but it was not trying to teach the basic fundamentals of the game. It was aimed at a different audience, but still very much polished and presented in that way. I don't know, it got me thinking about how I make my videos, or back when I made my videos, Obviously, I'm not officially retired again, but I haven't made anything in a very long time. But, like, when I did Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, it was meant to be, here's these games that I'm really passionate about and interested in, and I want to explore this element of it, the lore of it, experience it kind of for myself along with you. But it was an assumption that the viewer was not familiar with the lore. Whereas, like, you know, if someone like VaatiVidya did a Dark Souls series, like a playthrough of Dark Souls, he would not approach it in that way. He would, like, make the assumption, because people are subscribed to him for a particular reason, he would make the assumption that these people know the lore. And he could discuss it in a very different way. He could discuss you know, not in explaining the premise, but evaluating. I know it's a way of approaching it that, if I had any sort of time or motivation to do that kind of thing, it might be interesting. Is that fight frickin' over yet? Please, thank you. Anyway, this is like the Pokemon World Tournament. This is like a... So this is an interesting thing in the game. Is it the Battle Tower of the game, or is it a separate post-game facility? Basically, this is where you fight gym leaders from all the previous generations with updated rosters, and, like, you can fight Blue, I think you can maybe fight Red. And so it's like, here's everybody. Maybe, you know, maybe Black and White 1 is too far separated, too far removed from the previous generations. Maybe everyone got alarmed that, oh no, it's not Poke Japan anymore. The routes have started over from Route 1. Where are my beautiful gym leaders? Where are my friends? And so maybe this is their way of bringing that back and say, hey, yeah, no, we still remember those previous games, that previous generation. I guess, so there's been a lot of discourse, obviously, in the lead up to and wake of the release of Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I think a lot of things have been said about Pokemon's relationship with its past and the way that it wants to kind of recapture old fans, and, you know, how much is it willing to grow away from what it once was. And Black and White 1, when they came out, they were a clean break in almost every way. They're still on DS, and there's still backwards compatibility. But the entire Unova Dex in Black and White 1 was new Pokemon. You could not catch a Pikachu. There was a inflatable Pikachu in one of the towns, but every Pokemon was new. Some were obviously like, okay, Timber is just a Machop line again, but it was a whole new world. A whole new place to see. I don't remember the lyrics of the song. And I guess apparently there was a lot of backlash to that, because I guess, and this is all me speculating based on speculation that I've read on Twitter and Reddit and whatever, because after that, Game Freak went a very different direction. They were like, okay, Gen 6, you get a Kanto starter several towns in, and Mega Evolution, it's a way to make Gen 1 relevant again. And then Gen 7 has a Lowland variant, so ways to make Gen 1 relevant again. Gen 8, Galarian variants. Some Gen 1, some other. And, like, they, for whatever reason, were scared off of that clean break, which is kind of disappointing to me. Because, I mean, and I haven't replayed them properly in many years, Gen 5 classic, original vanilla, 1, not 2. 2's fine. 2 is a whole another can of worms that I can talk about, and I probably have time. I appreciated that it was a totally new region with completely new species of Pokemon, and it felt like a totally new Pokemon experience in a way that has not been done before or since. And so in this controversy about Brexit, which is, I just said the actual thing, Dexit, which is such a stupid name, you know, people complaining about, oh, my old Pokemon, I want to bring my old Pokemon in. And, like, I get that. And Pokemon Home will provide that, probably, presumably, hopefully. I wish that the Galar Pokedex didn't have any old Pokemon other than Galarian variants. And sure, it wouldn't have the 450 or whatever that it has. That's too freaking many. 450 Pokemon in a regional Pokedex is too many. Give me 150, give me 200 maybe. Like, I get that coming up with new ideas is getting harder and harder, because there are already so many Pokemon concepts that have been done. And therefore, coming up with a whole brand new Pokedex every single time, that's a tough sell. And so adding only, 80 new species, plus some variants, like, I get it, that's a more manageable task. But when every region is so stuffed to the gills with old Pokemon, I feel like a lot of the unique flavor and unique identity of that region is lost. So, like, Gen 1 comes out, 151, we got it, cool. Gen 2 comes out, it is a direct sequel. Doesn't have a number on it, but it is a direct sequel. And so, I am more tempted to give it a pass on having Rattata and Pidgey and stuff like that. Because it is, like, 3 years after, and you go back to the region and stuff. That's certainly rose-tinted goggles also, but I'm more willing to give it a pass. Gen 3, think about the first couple routes of Gen 3. You got Zigzagoon, you got Poochyena, you got Wingull, you got Shroomish, you got Routes, you got Slakoth, you got Whismur. I don't think you run into an old Pokemon, a pre-Gen 3 Pokemon, until you get to Dewford. No, Geodude in Rustboro. But those first couple of routes are so chock full of new Pokemon. Hoenn still feels like its own thing. Sinnoh, similar-ish. We got some babies in there. I'd need to revisit Sinnoh to be able to make a more declarative statement about that. I've revisited Gen 3 more recently, thanks to Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. And Gen 5, obviously, completely new break. And then we get to Gen 6. And they wanted, alright, we gotta have 450 Pokemon in this regional Pokedex. So guess what? Pidgey's back. You know him, you love him, he's back. And it's just, I don't want to be a nostalgia-laden Gen 5er, or 4er, or 3er, or 2er, or 1er. But there's a shift in its design ethos following Black and White 1, really. And it's a shift away from what I really go into Pokemon games for. I still really like Pokemon. Like Gen 8, sure, Sword and Shield came out. There's a lot of valid criticisms of those games. Played the hell out of them. But there's just, it's walking a path that I can follow, but I'd rather not. I'd rather get them back onto this other path, and also have them stop coming out with games every literal year. Anyway, I feel like when did I start that rant? How many gyms ago? Anyway. Oh, computer, wake back up. There we go. Alright. Alright, we're 2/3 through this video. Take another sip. Anyway, Gen 5 has a lot of stuff that I like. I feel bad for Black and White 2. Because by all accounts, as far as I understand, people really like Black and White 2. It seems like they're one of the best regarded Pokemon games in retrospect, which maybe that's just the point in the cycle that we're at. And pretty soon we'll get Gen 6 nostalgia, which, oh boy, I can't wait to hear how those people apologize for its flaws. But I experienced Black 2 in such a bad way my first time. And you can see it. It's all preserved on the internet, because that was why it was bad. I experienced Black 2 the first time in the Black 2 blind stream, which was a multi-day marathon streaming session of playing that game. And it sucked. I was so tired by the end of that process. It really soured the games on me. And so, like, it's entirely possible the Black and White 2 are better games than Black and White 1. I will refer to my previous rant about having a completely unique Pokedex, however, in my defense of Black and White 1. But I cannot make a proper valid judgment because my memories of Black and White 2 are so tied up in the stress of that stream. And you know, it's not just streaming for a long time, several days in a row, that is stressful, although it is stressful, ask any streamer. I can barely stream for 2 frickin' hours every Friday, which I don't even do anymore because it's too exhausting. But it's not just that it was a lot of streaming and a lot of being on, but it's also specifically that it was a blind stream and I didn't know what I was doing, and that's a lot more pressure on me as a streamer. As you may know if you've been following my work for a while, I hate being wrong about things. And I've gotten better about that. But me being up in front of people and not knowing and just fumbling and being like, I don't know what to do next, I don't know where I'm going. It sucks. It makes me feel like, 1, an idiot, and 2, a bad entertainer, because I am not... It's not entertaining to watch me run around in circles not knowing what I'm doing. Anyway, there's a double battle. Remember those? Remember how we used to have double battles? This game does have like an airship that shoots ice lasers or something, which was pretty dope. I just realized, I remember I said something about Ace having a special move at some point. I wonder if that was true. I have no idea. Oh, there it is, Dark Pulse. Okay, I'm right, I'm correct. I remembered. So Garbodor there reminds me of another game that I have more things to say about than this one, because I played it a lot more recently. Occasionally it crosses my mind to think about, how does one tell a joke purely through game mechanics? Not just, you know, having a funny situation, not just having a character tell a punchline in a support conversation in Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is a fun game, by the way. But how do you tell a joke purely through mechanics? And Sword and Shield does that at one point. And I don't want to spoil it, but it involves a Garbodor, and it's freaking good. And it was genuinely a highlight of an otherwise kind of uneven third act of that game. It's good. It's a good thing. Draudigon, hello. Draudigon is it's a stupid design. I don't like it. It looks like if you gave a line art of the creature to a small child and gave them in a box of crayons, and then you just went with the colors that they went with. Because it's like, you know, it's like a box of 8 crayons, for the record. Not one of those 128 or whatever. No, 8. Because I got yellow, I got red, and I got blue, and they're the most simple versions of them. So tacky. Anyway, gym leader here. Drayden? What is his name? Let's wait a couple seconds and find out. Drayden, yeah. In the original Black and White, he and Iris were version exclusive gym leaders. They had, I think, basically the same team. They're both Dragon Trainers, at least. But the towns looked different. And they were version exclusive. Here, in Black and White 2, Drayden is the gym leader for both versions. Why? Stay tuned, and you will not find out, because this video doesn't make it all the way, by the way. I don't know if I said that at the beginning, I don't think I did. This video fails. It fails in this video. Altari is cool, though. What's Altari doing just sitting there? Get up. Get up, sit, come on, fly. You're flying. Be up. Dragon flying or something. See how Purrloin has a little sickle at the end of its tail? That's pretty cool. I've got people in my D&D Skype chat wishing each other Happy New Year. It's not the New Year yet. It's 10:52 p.m. here on the West Coast, and I am going to finish recording this commentary and rendering and maybe even uploading by midnight tonight. I hope. Get rid of this goddamn footage before the new decade. I don't even have that strong a feeling about this goddamn footage. It's just, one, it's funny to play it up for the sake of comedy. Really, I just kind of forget about it for years at a time. Because it just has been there. And I forget about it. You know, in the same way that I forget about those, you know, small planning text documents I have for, like, what if I did Alpha Sapphire versus Sapphire or Emerald or something like that, and it's like a .txt file with a possible team, and that's it. And I just forget that it exists because who cares? I'm not doing anything with it. I still have 1 episode's worth of footage for Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. There's commentary for it. It's just slightly glitched out commentary because I recorded it bad. I could upload that, but I have standards for that series. Not for this video. This video's garbage. But I went into that. I went into this with that in mind. Video quality's garbage. You see that up on your screen. Nasty plot. Naboo special. I'm pulling out my phone because I could be a foolish fool who does foolish things foolishly. Purrloin's not a special attacker. Pulling up Bulbapedia. Game data. Attack and special attack are both 50 base power. Not base power. 50 base stat. Dark Pulse and Nasty Plot. A more powerful combination than Hone Claws and Night Slash. I knew that there was something involving special attacks in this run. I had forgotten that I guess she just turns into a special attacker. Eat butts, Cryogonal. Cryogonal's a cool design. I like Cryogonal. Cryogonal's hard to get. There's good music, by the way, also. Gen 5 had good music. I was listening to some of the Pokemon Symphonic Evolutions, that concert that did tour a couple years back. I don't think it's still touring, unfortunately. I missed it. Did the Zelda one, though. That was really good. But they had orchestrations of, like, N's Farewell from Black and White. And, like, the whole concert's really good, but N's Farewell, such a good piece of music. There's just a lot of really good music in this generation. Okay. Closing in on the end of this video, I'm gonna finish this drink. Alright. Let's kick this Cryogonal's butt. Do not freeze me, I swear to butts. Aight. Okay. So yeah, I mentioned it very briefly earlier, but you'll note that we're coming into the last 6-ish minutes of this video, and we do not have enough time for all the battles left in the game. Well, that's for a couple reasons. One, I mentioned before that this footage is low quality, and I've dealt with file corruption issues. The last couple of videos that I have recorded for this series are unplayable. I have what appears to be like a 10-minute video. When I open it in VLC, it just freezes after 12 seconds. It is unplayable. And the second reason for that is that I never finished this run. I got into the Elite Four. I fought a couple of them. And then I fought Marshall. And I came across basically the eternal quandary, which is I could restart this battle over and over and over until the RNG is on my side. I could try over and over again until luck goes my way. Or I could move on with my life and do something else. And that's what I chose to do. I decided life is too short. I am not going to finish this stupid Pokemon challenge run that the footage is already corrupt for, and it's for a game I don't have a whole lot to say about. And so I didn't finish the series. I didn't finish the run. Several years later, as I was completing my living dex for Gen 7, I imported a couple other Pokemon and beat the game and caught Landorus or whatever the hell I needed. I didn't feel bad about that, because life's too short. And if this were like a cinematic movie or something, I would extend that life advice of life is too short to the process of making this video. And instead of drinking a very mediocre concoction of vodka and fruit punch energy drink, not even an energy drink, Gatorade's imitation thing, instead of doing that and holding on to this unresolved project for 6 years, I would delete it. I would stop the recording right now, close the window, go into my file explorer, just delete the folder, empty your recycle bin, be done with it. I'll be gone. Life's too short. But it's not a movie, because if I did that, then the whole thing in there would never get communicated to you, the audience. So that's the conundrum. Life is too short. But I can't say that without lasting another like 3 minutes on this video. And ultimately not really following my own advice. There's a Whale Lord. Whale Lord, so good. Love Whale Lord. Whale Lord's a friend. I want a Whale Lord in my life. Like 40 feet long or something. But so, take it from me. If you are doing one of these projects, if you're taking on a task that's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be recreational and creative, and it just sucks, life's too short. Don't bother. Move on. Don't worry about it. It's 2020. It's not. It's 2019. By the time you're seeing this, it's 2020. Leave the old 2010s bullshit behind. Play a game you actually enjoy. Play Celeste. Celeste's a much better game. I'm not saying that as an insult to this game. This game's probably good. I don't know. I can't make an objective decision about that. But Celeste's really good. You should just stop watching. Like, I know there's like a minute left in this video. Stop watching this video. Go buy Celeste if you haven't. Play Celeste. That's a much better multimedia experience than anything on this stupid website. On any website. Go play Celeste. It's so much better than anything. Anyway, there's Caracosta. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's the end of this. Nope, we got a Jellicent. It's going down. It's gonna die to the Orc Pulse. Anyway, if you stuck with me for this 58-ish minute journey, congratulations. I don't know what the hell I just said in the past hour. I hope it was entertaining. But thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.